Hi everyone. Happy to meet you all here virtually. My name is Drace Zhan. I am one of the program coordinators and IDL instructors that you'll be interfacing with throughout the program. So what I'm going to do is essentially just give a quick walkthrough of some of the technical elements on our LMS learning management system and what essentially your day-to-day experience is going to be like. And then feel free to ask questions in the chat and on anything about the program, and I'd be happy to answer them as well accordingly. So in terms of our coursework on the LMS, you'll have access to various materials such as both lecture reading materials as well as on-demand lecture videos. In addition, there's going to be also various exercises, quizzes, lab activities that you're going to be completing throughout the program. And of course, also to facilitate that, we're making sure that you're having peer-to-peer interaction, which is a fairly large, important component in terms of learning science demonstrated for essentially in making sure that there's synthesis and retention of the material itself. There's going to be various activities such as forum discussions, other peer-to-peer activities that I'll talk about a little bit later that I think are pretty exciting. And then, of course, you're also going to be not as exciting. You're going to be able to view your grades on the platform as well for each of your various respective deliverables. So as a quick kind of preview of what the on-demand lectures look like, here's an example of one of them. This is obviously one of the more latter kind of material that's being taught towards the end of the program is the introduction to TensorFlow. And as you can see here, it's essentially one of our instructors delivering the lecture. It's self-paced, so you can essentially handle kind of skip to go back and review the areas that you might get stuck on and so forth. In addition, you'll see this little resource tab there. That's where all the essentially accompanying material is, which includes, of course, relevant data sets that you'll be working with, the actual coding notebooks that are provided, and other kind of study aids. So as mentioned, one of the big things about our IDL program that we really try to stress is the importance of peer-to-peer collaboration and peer-to-peer communication. So to that end, this is actually one of the programs I'm managing here. And as you can see, there's a fairly extensive kind of chat log here already from the orientation actually on that day. And yeah, it's essentially Slack is our main preferred medium for peer-to-peer asynchronous communication. So this way you could kind of just drop a message, somebody else can respond at their own time and so forth. Because when you were talking about the IDL program, people are, of course, kind of working on their own time zone sometimes. So your schedule may not necessarily sync up with other folks, but this ensures that you're still able to kind of keep and build a network with your fellow peers who are attending the program, but also across other programs as well. In terms of our essentially face-to-face communication that you can expect either through a group work collaboration or you're scheduling a meeting with either someone like myself, an instructor, a mentor, a TA, or even just other peers, we would recommend that you use Slack, you use Zoom, but you could also use Slack to dial them in as well, or Google Hangout, for example. So in terms of what is Slack going to also be used for us is actually we also offer live learning lectures for our IDL students. So these lectures are actually taught live by one of our residential instructors or well, our faculty team as a whole, such as myself, for example, one of the IDL instructors, or one of our other program managers, and so forth. And these lectures, they're also going to be recorded. So if you can't make them, for example, because you're busy working that day, or you just have some other commitments, or the time slot doesn't work out too well for you, you can still actually access them at any time on our live learning lecture calendars. So one other feature we have in terms of our IDL program that we believe is going to be really helpful for our students is actually our mentor program. And our mentor program essentially is just like how when you were going through, say, college, high school, grad school, you may have hired tutors to help you with certain subjects. So the mentors essentially act as that. They're personalized tutors for specific topics, ranging anywhere from just the very first few coding lectures that you may encounter, or even setting up certain logistics to, say, career support or guidance about how to navigate the data science industry. And this is something that, this is another feature that we're really proud of being able to offer. And each of our mentors will have a specific specialization set of skills. So as a result, when you can actually pick certain mentors that excel in certain topics to tutor you on those specific topics and give you the proper guidance you need that is on a more individual basis. And then finally, one of the set deliverables that you'll need to know about, this is the main kind of way we benchmark completion and graduation requirement of the program, is we want to make sure that, well, from our research already that we've seen, a significant amount of the reason why folks are looking towards, say, these boot camps is actually the hands-on experience and real-world data science projects. So we actually structure our project guidance and our curriculum in a way that there are 5 project deliverables, and essentially the projects themselves are essentially acting as the highlight piece on your resume and overall portfolio. So they start from deploying an app from scratch, actually using Shiny and using the R language, and also answering various data analytics questions, to web scraping. So in other words, parsing and collecting raw data from the internet, and then also doing some sort of analysis, and then moving to the machine learning, which is more about an end-to-end, essentially machine learning project. So it starts all the way from essentially data analysis, data ETL, to deployment, and answering some sort of some form of relevant business question related to that. And then, of course, the capstone is some form of passion project that you have selected that demonstrates kind of the full completion and assortment of skills that you have collected from the program itself. So that's essentially everything in terms of what to expect from the IDL program.